Hey everybody, Fall Shepherd. So we got a very special thing going on. I got a friend out there in Kuwait, our co-host, Corporal Hernandez or Hernandez Mario. So let's see if he can join us now. So we're gonna go live or do a live feed because it's been a while. Really want to bring Kuwait stuff. Well, he's not in Kuwait, actually, he's in Afghanistan. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see here. Mario, hurry up. There we go. View requests. Go live with Mario. And we are almost live. Waiting for Specialist Hernandez. All right. Yo!
Hello.
All right. Let's do this shit. You know what I mean?
Alrighty, sir.
All right. So I thought about doing some about politics, but I'm really mundane about politics. It's just funny how I really just want to bounce around like always because to me the best thing ever is just bouncing around with you and I. You know what I mean? You and I have a very big. We can actually feed off each other and actually do a pretty good podcast. So I really want to talk about relationships because you know me, I am the most horriblest person to ever be in a relationship with, and you awesome, which you couldn't upload because of the space, right? Or what was it?
I don't know why, but when I converted it to the video, the sound kind of lost a lot of quality, and it kind of sounded like it was recorded on a fucking Nintendo 64.
Oh wow!
So when I get back home, I'll try and fix it, and then we'll see what we can do with it. But I do think a lot of since we talked from then, a lot of my views have changed, sort of, on some of the stuff. But I do remember how we would talk about kind of where we came from and how we kind of got here, how we got those views, even though some of them were probably not agreeable to some people just because they haven't been through the same things that we have or witnessed some things that we have, etc.
Yeah, I'm fucking toxic as fuck. I can understand that. You know what I mean? I feel bad for the ladies out there, but you know it is what it is. You know what I mean? So you want to do it again? So let's try it again. So basically, where I came from, relationship wise, you know, funny thing is, dude, even though I'm like such a big man whore, I never had sex till I was 18 years old. Believe that shit? The girl that popped my cherry was a Danielle Garcia. I remember that. And it was in my homeboy's house. Yeah, it was Jose Perez's house. And that was the first time I ever had sex, dude. And after that, it's been down fucking hill. You know what I mean? But relationship wise, I just never been, I don't know, dude. It's just like, my mind's always somewhere else. And I'm a rambling man. And unfortunately, I'm always trying to look for what's over the hill. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Which sucks.
I mean, I think it became that way due to the experiences in your life. I remember a lot of times that you would explain how, you know, like even right now, you said that, you know, you're toxic in terms of relationships and things of that nature.
Yes.
I think it's, you know, because of your experiences, and that's how you reflect on yourself. And sometimes I remember my father was in a very, very, very committed relationship for about 7 years. And during those 7 years, he started fucking up towards the end because he, funnily enough, he lost his job because he wouldn't stop playing PlayStation 2. I would wake up in the morning to go to school. He would be sitting there playing PlayStation. I'd come back from school. He'd still be sitting there. And then he would never go to sleep, and he'd just sit there and kind of tweak out all night and play games. So eventually she left him and then started cheating on him with some other person when they were trying to get back together. The worst part about that, though, is that it changed him from being this homebody kind of person and a father to kind of this drunken, heartbroken 20-something-year-old that he just kind of let go of all of his responsibilities as a father, as a person that's supposed to take care of himself and his family and things of that nature. So he turned into a fucking piece of shit, like a low life kind of thing. And it was kind of disgusting towards the end, where drugs and alcohol and partying became more important than my education or food in the fridge and things of that nature. So a lot of his experiences I can kind of see, not in you, but how it changes somebody, because everybody reacts differently to situations that they're put in.
Yeah, I'm a product of my environment, dude. Not you know, you're absolutely right. And I know my upbringing and everything. It's not like I had a bad upbringing. I had a pretty good. My mom, man. You know what sucks, dude? Like, my mom tries hard to talk to me now these days, and I just cannot, man. Like, and I feel bad because like I'm holding things against her that she's not responsible for, and it's just like, ugh, why are you talking to me, man? Like, we're so. You guys you have more meaning than my sisters do, dude. You're more connected to them than I am. You know what I mean? My mom talks to me, and it's always criticizing my life, my lifestyle, the way I live, my mentality. Hey, you got a degree, do something with it. I'm like, no, bro. I really do not want to be part of the society. And it's just like, you're right. Product of my environment, everything I've been through, relationship-wise. I got my little heartbroken once, and ever since then, I was just been like, you know what? Nah, I'm not. Nah, I'm not gonna fucking go through that bullshit hellhole about trying to get in a relationship, trying to get married, and being faithful. Because to me, it's a societal thing where you think I should only be one partner. You know what I mean? And like, I should be married. That's bullshit. Fuck marriage, man. I really just want to be with somebody else. I don't know, man. I've been learning a lot about myself now these days, man. I've been in a lot of relationships in the past, like 3 years, and honestly, dude, I don't know what love really is, but I think I dare say I love the women that I've been with, man, and it's awesome. They taught me a lot. You know what I mean? I learned a lot about it. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
What I find interesting is no matter the things that you went through and how your views. I think I told you this one time, and I think you didn't like it, but I remember I was like, your views and how outlandish some of the stuff that you say is, kind of your personality. It brings you to be a form of leader for people to look up to.
Yeah.
Just even at a unit, you can see that the people flock to you and only give a shit about what you say, and they'll defend you to like the end, even if they don't understand your view whatsoever.
That's scary.
Like who you are specifically. It's sad, but it's true. It's interesting how you have this sort of social effect on people because of the things that you say or how you act, and the things that you believe in are to them almost taboo or outlandish because how crazy they come off as. But
yeah.
Because you have the gall to say it, it's a sort of respect thing where people whip out their phones the moment you start talking about. I remember we were given a class on like the M16, who made it, all that stuff. The regular shit we do at drill when we're not fucking spinning around in swivel chairs. You started talking about how you were using it and the things that it can do and how you need to take care of it, the tool, etc. And you kind of went off in this outlandish thing about the stuff that you did in your tours and Fallujah and things of that nature. And everyone started whipping out their phones because they thought it was funny and they thought it was awesome, and how awesome that it sounded that you were killing people or that it was crazy and things of that nature. It's really funny how it's really funny how you have that social effect on people, because they will flock to you. They only care about what you say, and they don't even know what you mean by it.
Yeah, that's dangerous, because that goes for the last 6 months. If everybody's known, I've been on this trip about human behavior. I read Eichmann in Israel. I read the Lucifer Effect. I've been reading a lot about human behavior, man, and it's like, what the Nazis did and what Eichmann did and everything. Eichmann's weird because it didn't have to do with, he was anti-Semitic, in a sense, but it wasn't because he had a whole hatred for Jews. He just wanted to get promoted. He wanted to benefit his life. He did not give a shit about anything else. And it's just like, I never wanted to be a mouthpiece for anybody or have a following, like you said, because I just don't want to lead people astray, because that's dangerous, dude. You get in that fact, like, America now is so polarized, and you get in the fact where the conservative, left, and people, even though they know morally they're wrong, they follow that. That's as bad as as Nazis and as Romanians did. Remember the crazy thing about the whole entire freaking the Jewish question in Germany was never ever did it say anything about killing or massacring or Jews. It was always about the Jewish question, and because the German people had the populace in control about it and everybody agreed on it, they did fucked up shit, and that's what I'm always afraid of. Like, just because you think it's okay and everything doesn't mean it's okay. You know what I mean? And I never want to have followers and just lead them to the fucking lion's den. It's not right, man.
I mean, that also had to do with a lot of the Ministry of Public Enlightenment in Nazi Germany, where they would make documentaries about how they would have like half-starved Jews like laying in a puddle, and they're just like, look at how these people live. This is how they live. They're happy like this. And back then it was a lot easier to kind of influence and control people because there wasn't as much exposure to social media. Like right now, flipping out your phone when something's happening, thousands and thousands of people around the world, or just even in your state, can actually see what's going on. Like those police brutality videos that blow up, even though, like, sometimes they're justified and sometimes they're not. It doesn't matter. Because it's like they think emotionally. It's kind of like how I think we talked about it before, where in the media uses your emotions rather than trying to state logical facts to you. Like when they show a victim who died, they'll try and show you not the gang-related photos of him, toting pistols and stuff, but they'll show you pictures of him as a nice young man in high school and things of that nature, even though he's 23 years old. It's a way of influence, but I don't think that you do that per se. I'm not saying that you do that. However, though, it is the way that you speak, and everybody wants to be your friend. I know a lot of people in the unit say, "Oh, I look up to him," and things like that, and then it's just like, well, why? I'm not saying that's wrong, but exactly. I go, well, why do you look up to him? They're like, oh, he's cool, or oh, he says cool things, or oh, I know a couple of people. I won't say any names. They got into the old trucks and cars because of you. They got into the stuff that you like, and they try to make it a part of their life because they think that's cool because you made it cool to them. It's a weird gift and a curse that you've been given, unfortunately, because obviously you don't want it. As you said.
Don't.
But you have it, and unfortunately, you can either use it for good or use it for bad. And then
define bad and good.
Intentional or unintentional.
Yeah, define bad and good.
So, all right. For instance, you have this gift, and if you want to capitalize on it, you create yourself as an internet personality and share stories, just how you do, because that's attractive to people. People find your storytelling very attractive. I know I found some of the stories that you would tell us, like when we were at the range and stuff, and you would tell us about, like, your tours again, pollution, things of that nature. It was very interesting because it was real, it was grounded, and it drew me in. And I was like, whoa, like that's not like a movie, that's like real life.
That's honest.
However, with that storytelling that is attractive, you gather a lot of eyes and people that are willing to listen to you. But most times they don't understand what you're saying. Like when you talk about, I remember there's a few times when Trump was in office and then you were fighting the Don. I mean, that wasn't a fight, it was an execution. It was still the point of that you had before, you had the ground, you had everyone's ears. You're making a fool of him, which is interesting and not only funny to see, but it's something that people will capitalize on in terms of a point of interest in a conversation that they don't know anything about.
Yeah.
You can tell, you can actually just go into formation tomorrow and be like, who thought Trump was fucking racist? And probably a majority of them raise their hands. Well, why? Like, what is your evidence? Why do you think that? And you can break that down critically. You have broken it down critically and disproven people. And I remember there was this one girl, I don't really even remember her name. It might have been Romero or something. And she was just like, you proved her wrong. Like, she was just like, oh, Trump's racist. Oh, discrimination. Oh, again, kids in cages, yada, yada. And then once you were like, well, that's been there since the Obama administration. That's been there since this and that. And you just shut her down.
I think that was Dora.
And it came down to having no ammunition. She was just like, well, I'm Salvadorian. It doesn't matter. I don't care what happens to Mexican people. I'm Salvadorian. But it's just like, that's irrelevant. It didn't prove any point. You don't look any smarter. You didn't prove anything to anybody in that conversation. In fact, you just kind of backed out because you had no more ammunition and you weren't willing to accept defeat. You just kind of threw, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't apply to me. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, that indifference is a big problem too. See, you know, I hate referencing the Holocaust and referencing what happened with Germany because, you know, a lot of kids don't understand it. It's old, but this is the reason why Greek Jews were treated horribly and were exterminated because of the indifference. When you start saying, well, it doesn't matter to me because of my people, that's indifference. And when you think like that, that's why a lot of Greeks were fucking gassed and murdered. And you know, man, it breaks my heart. I just really want nothing with society, man. The governments, the idea that we can govern people with authority, and if you don't listen, you get tickets. If you don't listen at the extreme, you get beat up, shot, and murdered. You know, even though Floyd, you know, the guy that was killed in, I can't remember where, he was under drugs, him and his girlfriend and everything, but the reason those police officers killed him made him a martyr. You know, he was a martyr. But it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, it sucks because government, I hate the fact that you have friends and everything that just believe in, like, government is most safe, appropriate thing that governs the people because people can't be treated as adults, and it sucks because why, man? You're right. It's indifference. It's like, dude, governments are the most. You think about it. All your woes in your life are from government. All your woes, your strives, your tick, it's government. Dude. Even though I paid for this house, cash, this house belongs to the government. If I don't pay for this house, the taxes, guess what happens? The government acquires my house. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like people don't understand that, man. Like, you know, that's why I get in debate. You know, regardless of Floyd, I got into it with somebody today about the Floyd Mayweather. Is it Floyd Mayweather? No, not Mayweather. It's who's that guy that killed?
George Floyd.
George Floyd. I got into it about that. They're like, well, he was on drugs. You know, his girlfriend testified they were on drugs. Well, yeah. So what?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I pick your brain about something?
Yes.
So, you know, you said that because of we need government, it's because people can't be treated as adults.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Okay. So let me ask you something. As a company first sergeant, and you work alongside the commander. As a company first sergeant, and you give us the full control sometimes you'll give us the full control to, you guys are free for the day, go out and do what you want to do, as long as you guys get back here in the morning, you guys are adults, blah, blah, blah. And from AT to the drill after AT, it was just fuck up after fuck up. Something happened at AT. It made us not able to, you know, go and do the things that we were wanted to do, the things and the freedoms that we wanted to have, right? Because somebody fucked it up for us. How, as a company first sergeant, being in the government, you know, position governing your company, how do you recognize like what should have been done to correct that instead of being like, all right, well, you know, we fucked up. Well, one person or two people, maybe even three, four, will take advantage of that situation and fuck it up. What is your, I guess, like ultimatum to like, well, without government, what do you do?
All right.
Someone to kind of make laws and defend those laws, what do you do? I'm not saying it's 100% true and cool all the fucking time, but it builds the form of structure to where people are now comfortable to live by. Like, people are comfortable to call the cops whenever their house is being robbed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it provides a form of comfort. Where the groceries coming from, where you go to the grocery store and you go pick up food, it's always going to be there, right? When people freaked out during the pandemic about the whole fucking infecting and toilet paper shortage, imagine that with food, a food shortage. Imagine not being able to go to the grocery store and food's always going to be there. People don't realize, like, how government also, yes, there are rules and regulations, but realize the luxuries and comforts of not. There's places like Cuba where sometimes the restaurants will be open and the next day they will not be because there's no running water, things of that nature. It's a form of luxury and benefits that we get, but also have to follow rules and things of that nature. Like, you know, I'm not saying that it's correct, but what is the best possible solution to change otherwise?
All right, so let me ask the first question. As a company first sergeant, my purpose is to protect the commander. You know what I mean? Because, like, honestly, like, that's my purpose. Like, you need to protect the commanding officer is responsible. That's his company. All I do, I'm a mouthpiece for the enlisted. I must protect his best interest. A good first sergeant will protect his best interest, protect his command, protect his intent, because all intent. But on the same note, as you said, as a company first sergeant, discipline and listening, that goes into, like, the military's change, and that's why I want to retire. It's just not about. I'm a millennial, but the thing is, a lot of you guys are a lot. I'm not saying. I'll be honest. A lot of millennials are really soft. It's about feelings. The military is different. The sole purpose of the military, or of the U.S. What's the purpose of the U.S. Army? What's the purpose of the Marine Corps? What is it? To locate, maneuver, and destroy the enemy. It's about combat. And the problem is, because of politics and what's going on in the world now, it's ran by like a Fortune 500 company when it shouldn't be ran. It shouldn't matter about race, sex. Women need to be here. Women, no. Men need, trans, no. It's about fighting and winning wars. That's it. It does not matter about how you feel about it. But yeah, that goes back to as a company first sergeant, like, you have to evolve. And honestly, I don't want to evolve. I want to live in the old days where things are I'm a very black and white kind of guy. So my responsibility goes to that. So when somebody, breaks the rules, like an 18 and everything, you know how I do it. I straight fucking haze a motherfucker. Remember when I laid hands on a certain Salvadorian soldier?
Yeah.
Remember that when I fucking fucked him up because he was out of the wrong? I'm all for people in the military, but once you just pick a female, dude, it's different, man. And that's why I like them, you know what I mean? That's the only way that that understood how upset I was about it. Where some of you, I talked to you guys, do the knife hand thing, we're good. But that soldier deserved it. So it goes back to what you asked me, like, yeah, as a company first sergeant, you're responsible. That's his. You don't want him to get in trouble. You're there for him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then
it's also that you have a better relationship with the troops because, well, not only because of who you are, but because of your position. The commander's usually in his office, and then he'll come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I be a first sergeant, dude. I never wanted that job. To me, I grew up old school Marine Corps, man, and it's just like, and I hate to say it like this, it's a woman's job. The expression I always grew up with was this: diamonds and stars are for women, bursting bombs with cross rifles for men. And unfortunately, the diamond and everything is just like, it's an administrative job, and I hate it. I hate it because it's like you deal with soldiers and I would dare say Marines nowadays, they're different. It's a cultural thing that you have to influence. That begins with parents. It's a cultural influence. Like, why am I telling a male soldier, hey, when a woman says no, it means no. your mom should have taught you that. Your dad should have taught you that. Why am I teaching you that? That has nothing to do with me. All I care about is efficiency at your job, your reaction to combat, how you deal with it. Because honestly, I feel like we have fell way behind our peer-to-peer adversaries because we do not focus on the what makes a warrior a warrior. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's about sharp and ego. Like, who cares about equal opportunity? This country's so stupid that everything matters. This race, like skin color, like, dude, who fucking cares? And it's the narrative that's being pushed from the media and everything else. Like, oh my god, dude, race. Everything's race. Everything's just traumatizing, racist. Like, it's so bothersome because you're affecting readiness with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, dude. It sucks. And then, now, what was your second question? Because I'm drunk and I want to know what your second question was.
Well, I was trying to say, as a form of as you being, the first sergeant alongside the company commander, being a form, what is the best alternative for that? Like, what would you recommend?
The best alternative for that, I'm a bastard son, so I grew up with my stepfather. They're white. Jeff, his siblings were Jeff, Greg, and my aunt Kathy. So my uncle Greg married a Cuban, so I know a lot about the freaking how the Cuba was because she was middle class Cuban. They fled Cuba because of Castro. But my thing is, and I hate saying this because people blow this out of the water, it's personal responsibility. You live in your life. If you want freedom, you want to be able to express yourself in a free environment, you have to be accountable. To be able to express yourself in a free environment, you have to be accountable. You're not on government. Like, if the power goes out, I'm on my own. If I need food, I hunt. If I need, if I need to protect myself, if I need to make money, I found out different avenues of approach for financial income. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, the American culture sucks, and you're right. No one understands the fact that they can take responsibility for themselves and take care of themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you want to live this life, I went from Republican to libertarian, and after this election, dude, I gave up on the system, and I'm a straight anarchist. But the thing is, when you say anarchy, people think about no rules, that's anarchy. But the problem is, it's more of an ideal because you can't trust human beings. You can't, because they do what with it? I hate this society, man, because you know me, man. I have a lot of kids everywhere, dude, and I love my kids, man. And it sucks, dude. Like, I'm raising these kids in this world. One of my favorite kids, man, is the one I had with Athena. Even though the fact that it reminds me of Isabel because that kid is so happy, man, all the time. She's so happy about life, and it sucks, dude. Like, it breaks my heart knowing that she has to be part of this world, and her being's gonna die. It's just like, it sucks, dude. Like, it's just like, dude, this world sucks. Like, I want no part of society, none of it. I want no part. I'm educated. I'm in the service. I'm trying to retire. I just don't want a part of it. I don't want to be part of murdering people. I don't want to be part of none of it, dude. I'm done with it, man. I just want to be left alone, bro. But I can't. I pay tax. If I don't pay tax, I go to jail. What am I gonna do? Like, I just want my autonomy, like, just to be left alone, dude. But I can't. I went on a date one time, and I was in LA, and it's a funny story. I wasn't wearing a mask, and I went to that the old farmers market in LA, in Los Angeles, and it was called. I'm in there with no mask. This dude comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, where's your mask, Jamal?" The fuck you mean mask? And he went, and he's all, it's, and he fucked up. He's told me it's socially accepted. And I looked at him. I do not want to be socially accepted. I don't care about being socially accepted. And he lost his shit. Like, he tripped out on me. I'm like, dude, like, I do not want to be part. Like, what do you understand? I'm here because I have to be here. If it was up to me, I would fucking take off and take my house, my property, my kids, go somewhere else. But I can't, you know?
Right.
I'm dipping into insanity, bro, and it's day by day, you know?
Oh shit. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I would like to go back on a point that you had earlier. You were talking about how the military, all branches, are to maneuver, and win wars, right? That's mainly it, right?
Yes.
But the divot changed. I think everything changed after Vietnam, when we started shifting over to the war in the Middle East and things like that, after the Cold War era. And we started looking into the Middle East and how we lost so many people, and we wanted the military to be more socially acceptable and accessible and not be something that should be feared. Like, think about all those, the U.S. Army commercials. Right? And there's all these fucking people. You be that too, man. Jump in the fucking water. I couldn't swim. You know what I mean? Like, things of that nature. You remember that fucking... And I remember watching those, and now I see... Have you seen the new Army recruitment videos?
No, I don't watch any of that propaganda.
They're pretty bad. There's a poster that says, "Snowflakes, we need your..." What is it? "We need your compassion in our army." You see, when we started to focus more socially and we started giving benefits such as like giving more to the troops, that's when it no longer became a lifestyle and it no longer became about the objective. It became about the individual. Meaning, oh, well, you know, I have a degree. I know people who fucking, like a few videos on like Troops Gone Wild where the dudes beat the shit out of each other. Those called pupils, I think. They're just happy under a certain way. So where I'm getting with this, sorry if I'm going to adapt, and there's fucking ideas.
You're in endless wars in your...
We started to see a lot more contractors, American contractors, than we had seen soldiers. And people should be healthy. We should take care of our health. Milk is good for the kids. Until he comes back, because I have no armor with him. Wow, I really got my... I think about it. Wow. Yeah. Shit. And I usually all feel like... And because I realized that in what it was becoming because of the low income crime rate. Like, you ever follow, like, I don't know if you do, and this is we found this bar.
It's cracking, homies.
I was thinking on will say you're not that.
You know what's funny? A whole... love.
So
yeah.
I'm not gonna say like, hey, this is not what you want to do. I wish I was living where you were living. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we're not stupid. Been like that, man. Addicts and you be out, old dog.
Okay.